What if everything you've been taught about reality, about faith, divinity, what if it was all just, well, a carefully crafted illusion?
And what if finding the real truth meant looking in places you'd never expect? Maybe even facing figures we normally think of as evil.
Exactly. Today, we're diving deep into a really extraordinary and challenging piece of source material. It's a screenplay by Tirth Raj Parsana called Lucifer Was Innocent.
Yeah, and this isn't your typical academic paper or anything. It's a drama, a story documenting this one guy's intense personal quest to peel back the layers of normal understanding and find what he calls reality.
Our mission, then, is to unpack Tirth Parsana's journey. He starts as this super successful content creator, right?
Yeah.
And then becomes a seeker of, well, what he sees as forbidden knowledge.
We'll look at his encounters with these mysterious guides, the really radical kind of Gnostic takes on biblical stories he uncovers.
We're going to really examine this red pill he talks about taking and the secrets he believes humanity's been lied to about. All straight from his own words in this screenplay.
And for you listening, especially if you like getting knowledge quickly, but, thoroughly, this deep dive offers a pretty unique perspective. It really challenges assumptions.
Definitely promises some aha moments. It's an exploration that demands critical thinking, invites you to look at multiple views on these really deep beliefs, but hopefully without feeling, totally overwhelmed.
Okay, so let's get into it. It starts with Tirth Parsana. Picture this. 21 years old, huge online presence.
Yeah, huge is right. 860,000 Instagram followers, 4 million on YouTube, 66,000 monthly Spotify listeners, and apparently a net worth of 90 lakh rupees. Seems like he has it all.
Outwardly, yeah. But inside, he describes this profound, numbness and emptiness. He felt his life's purpose was, and I quote, different from all of this shit.
Wow. So success on the outside, turmoil on the inside. That's interesting.
And what's really key here, even before this whole journey kicks off, Tirth apparently had this long-standing thing against conventional religion.
What?
His friends talked about his chaos of unanswered questions. He'd argue against, attributing his success to God. He actually said, religion is a human invention, but it has drifted away from the very purpose that it was created for.
So that skepticism, that questioning, it was already there, part of his core?
Seems like it. It definitely sets the stage for what happens next.
Okay, so he's questioning everything, feeling empty despite the fame. And then his life takes this really weird turn, almost like fate stepping in. How does the journey actually begin?
Well, the source describes this totally accidental discovery. He's on a date, it goes badly, the girl slams a book down and leaves,
Right.
and he finds this book, How to Summon an Entity, inside a hamper from a podcast studio, left behind in a library cafe.
Wait, a library cafe? With a sign saying the books aren't for sale.
Exactly, a silver plate. Books in the library are not for sale. It feels very specific, almost orchestrated.
That is quite a setup. A book on summoning entities just appears. What does he do?
It sparks this immediate obsession. He isolates himself, tries all these methods from the book to summon something, but keeps failing.
Right, just can't get it to work.
Nope. Until the aha moment. During one ritual, a drop of his blood accidentally falls on a candle. The flame flares up, and it reveals this hidden CD in the book's torn front cover.
Whoa. Okay, dramatic. What's on the CD?
It's a video, a guy named Ryan explaining the real summoning process, and involves a special card hidden in the book's back cover.
So the book itself was like a puzzle box.
Yeah.
Front cover, back cover. Very elaborate.
Incredibly elaborate. It's like a sequence designed to test him or lead him down this specific path.
And this leads to, well, the title character, right? Lucifer shows up.
He does. Following Ryan's instructions, Lucifer appears. Described as a young, attractive man in an all-black attire wearing a long trench coat. Just walks in through his open gallery.
Doesn't sound like the typical depiction. But he doesn't just start spilling secrets, does he? There's a catch.
No, not at all. First thing Lucifer says is basically, you're not worthy to know the truth.
Ouch. So how does Tirth prove his worth?
With this really strange coin flip test. Lucifer gives him a coin, tells him he has 24 hours to get tails just once. But every time Tirth tries, it lands on heads.
Every single time. That's impossible.
Seems like it. Tirth gets super frustrated. Then Lucifer whispers this clue. You'll keep getting heads. All you have to do is get tails once. Just flip the horse.
Flip the coin. What does that even mean?
Tirth realizes it means stop trying to force it. Just flip it. Let it land. And when he does that, tails.
Ah, okay. So it wasn't about the odds, it was about his approach. What was the point of that?
Lucifer explains it brilliantly, according to the source. He says for years, Tirth and everyone has only been shown one side of the coin. They're just used to it.
Like, stuck in one way of seeing things.
Exactly. And Lucifer says this story, this truth, it's not meant for those who stay on the course of fate. Only those who cheat and flip the course of destiny deserve this story.
Wow. So you have to be willing to break the pattern, to defy what seems set in stone? That's a powerful idea.
It really is. It suggests truth isn't passive. You have to actively seek it, even if it means cheating fate.
All right, Tirth passed the test. He's worthy. What's the first big secret Lucifer starts him on?
Lucifer gives him these cryptic hints, mentions books like Adam's Personal Diary, a gospel that explains the true God and the evil, and keywords like Adam, Eve, the serpent, their sons, the God, devil, and Gnosticism.
So not direct answers, just breadcrumbs.
Right, which sends Tirth into this intense research frenzy. He's got a softboard, filling it with connections, digging into texts like the Apocalypse of Adam, the Secret Gospel of John.
And what's the big takeaway from all that digging?
He lands on Gnosticism, his finding. Gnostics were all about understanding self-knowledge.
Gnosticism. Okay, for listeners who might not be familiar, what's the core idea there, especially in how Tirth understands it?
Well, Gnosticism was this ancient movement, often seen as a kind of rival to early Christianity. The key thing was gnosis, personal, spiritual knowledge, often secret knowledge, as the path to salvation, not just faith.
So knowing rather than just believing.
Exactly. And Tirth's research leads him to this really radical Gnostic view of creation. According to one text, the apocalypse of Adam and Eve didn't rebel against a good God.
Now who then?
They rebelled against a false, evil creator God. This being, the text claims, is the actual devil, the ruler of the material world who made humans to be slaves.
Whoa, okay, that completely flips the script on Genesis. If the creator is evil, what does that make humanity?
According to this Gnostic view in the screenplay, Adam and Eve were originally these divine, powerful beings, more powerful than the God most people worship, like great eternal angels.
Humans were higher than God.
That's the claim. And this fractured, malformed being, the biblical God, got jealous and angry, so he trapped the perfect divine human into the prison of a material body.
Trapped us.
Threw us into the material world to limit our power, make us slaves. The source says he also imprisoned them in the garden, wiped their memory, and split them in two into Adam and Eve, a total inversion.
So, if we were divine, and the creator is evil, what about the trees in Eden? The tree of life, the tree of knowledge?
They get completely reinterpreted, too. The tree of life isn't good in this version. It's a tool to trap humanity further by making us more primal and animalistic, injecting us with an artificial spirit or false life. There's this quote from the Secret Gospel of John used in the screenplay. It's really vivid.
Let's hear it.
It says, "Its root is bitter, its branches are dead, its shadow is hatred, its leaves are deception. Its fruit is death, its seed is desire. Those who eat from it are denizens of Hades." Basically a source of darkness, not life.
Yikes. Okay, so if the tree of life is bad, what about the forbidden tree of knowledge?
Ironically, that's the good one in this view. It represents higher thinking, purposeful thought, intuition, insight connected to our neocortex, our self-awareness.
The very thing that makes us question and understand.
Precisely. It lets us realize our own divinity. And that's why the evil creator God forbids it to keep us enslaved, unaware of our true nature.
So knowledge is liberation. Ignorance is enslavement. That's a powerful reversal.
It absolutely is. The idea that true knowledge is deliberately kept from us.
Okay, this reinterpretation is mind-blowing. How does this Gnostic lens explain other big Bible stories, like Cain and Abel, the flood?
Right, it tackles those too. Cain and Abel, according to this narrative, weren't Adam's sons. They were born after the evil creator God raped Eve.
What? Seriously?
That's what the source material Tirth finds claims. Seth, however, was the true son of Adam and Eve, representing the reunion of the divine, holding this united power.
Okay. And the flood, usually seen as punishment for sin.
Not here. In this version, the flood happens because the evil creator God is furious that Seth's descendants refuse to be his slaves and are rebelling.
So it wasn't about wickedness, it was about disobedience to the wrong God.
Exactly. Divine beings supposedly saved Seth's line by hiding them in a cloud of light. Noah and his family, they were saved because they agreed to serve the creator God in fear and slavery.
And in return, they got the earth to populate with more slaves.
That's the interpretation presented. A dark pact to repopulate the world for the creator God.
Wow. Just wow. That takes these foundational stories and turns them completely inside out. How does the screenplay connect this ancient Gnostic conflict to, like, today?
Tirth's narrative suggests the world is still divided, symbolically between the Sethians, those who refuse to worship this evil creator god, and those who serve him, maybe unknowingly.
And Gnosticism is the path out.
It's presented that way. Gnosticism emphasizes knowledge, seeing through the material illusion, becoming God yourself to escape. That's contrasted with mainstream faith's focus on, faith, sin, repentance, worshiping an external God, internal awakening versus external devotion.
Lucifer kind of sums up this chapter with some really challenging questions for Tirth and for us, doesn't he?
He does. He asks Tirth, basically, which story makes more sense? Does the biblical God seem loving or kinda evil and satanic? Is faith and worship the way? Or is self-knowledge and unlocking your inner divinity?
Heavy questions. And then he warns Tirth his life is in danger.
Which turns out to be spot on, because Tirth, maybe just bursting with all this new information, does something really impulsive.
What does he do?
He goes into a church, stands up and declares, "We humans have been praying to the wrong God. We have the divinity hidden within ourselves. We ourselves are gods."
Oh boy. How did that go over?
About as well as you'd expect. He gets violently attacked by the congregation, ends up with a bleeding mouth, a harsh reality check about dropping truth bombs unprepared.
Yeah, maybe not the best approach. But then someone steps in.
Right, this mysterious father figure intervenes. But he gives Tirth this cryptic warning. People equipped with half knowledge don't change society, son. They only change these lifelines of their own. We expected better off you.
Half knowledge, implying Tirth jumped the gun. And expected better suggests this father knew about Tirth.
Exactly. Then Lucifer shows up again, kind of scolds Tirth for being foolish. He quotes the Quran, actually, emphasizing wisdom. He gives wisdom unto whom he will. He truly hath received abundant good, but none remember, except men of understanding.
So knowledge isn't enough. You need wisdom, understanding, intellect.
Right. It's a lesson about responsibility. Then Lucifer gives him the clue for chapter 2, just a blank piece of paper.
Blank paper. How does Tirth figure that out?
He remembers seeing lemons and earbuds in his kitchen, like maybe stuff used for invisible ink. So he tries lemon juice and heat from a candle.
And it works. Like spy movie stuff.
It does. Hidden coordinates appear, leading him to a cemetery.
A cemetery? Okay, getting creepy again. Who does he meet there?
The father. The same guy from the church. He reveals he's the guide Lucifer mentioned, the one meant to narrate chapter 2 to the chosen person.
Ah, the plot thickens. So what's chapter 2 about?
The father explains the secret gospel of Judas, a text apparently despised by the church because, as the source puts it, it reveals that everything that we know about mainstream Christianity is wrong.
The Gospel of Judas? I've heard of that. Usually Judas is the ultimate bad guy.
Well, in this gospel, Jesus supposedly takes Judas aside, reveals secrets about creation, says the other 12 disciples are evil, and that God is actually the devil.
God is the devil, I guess.
Consistent with the Gnostic fame, yes. Jesus, in this text, claims he's not the son of the biblical God, but comes from the immortal realm of the divine mind to wake people up to their own divinity.
And he laughs at the disciples' prayers.
Yeah, saying they pray not by choice, but because it praises their God, the false one.
So what makes Judas different in this story? Why tell him the secrets?
Because, unlike the others, Judas apparently knew who Jesus really is, and that he didn't come from the God the others worshipped. Judas could handle Jesus' challenge to bring out the perfect humanity.
So this gospel basically says Orthodox Christianity is false, the opposite of truth.
That's the implication presented, that it's the gospel of the satanic creator God. It even criticizes church leaders who push martyrdom, suggesting dying for Christ serves the false God.
Okay, so Judas seems like the hero here, the one who got it. But you mentioned a darker twist in the source material.
Yeah, there is. While some early interpretations saw Judas heroically, the screenplay points out Jesus calls him the 13th demon.
The 13th demon, why 13?
In this Gnostic context, 13 is linked to the demonic creator God, the ruler of the 13 realms. Jesus apparently tells Judas, "You'll become the 13th and will be cursed, and will rule over them, and your star will rule over the 13th realm."
Rule over them. Cursed. That doesn't sound heroic.
Not at all. And Jesus adds that Judas will sacrifice the humanity which bears me. It makes his role much more ambiguous, even sinister.
So Tirth concludes Judas isn't a hero, maybe even connected to the creator God himself.
That seems to be his takeaway, that the gospel is ultimately a warning. Don't follow the teachings of the 12 or mainstream Christianity, or you'll stay a slave to the creator God, never realizing your own divinity.
Never realizing I am Atma Brahma, this self is God.
Precisely. The Father then reveals Lucifer also predicted his role, saving Tirth's life and narrating chapter 2. Both the Father and Ryan, the guy from the CD, now believe Tirth is the chosen one.
It really feels like this elaborate cosmic play unfolding around him.
Yeah.
So he's still got questions. Where does he go next?
He consults a tarot reader, Ellie, about his devil card, which has mixed energies. And guess who Ellie sends him to?
Let me guess. Ryan.
Bingo. Her tutor is Ryan, and Ryan confirms it all. Tells Tirth he is the chosen one, and that Lucifer basically spoiled the whole plot to him beforehand.
Lucifer told Ryan everything. About making the video, hiding the card, placing the book.
Exactly. All meticulously planned so the book would find Tirth. Ryan then gives Tirth a warning about the special summoning card.
The one from the back of the book.
Yeah. He says, that card has a hidden message. You must not try to open it now, only after the last chapter, not before it. More suspense.
Definitely building the tension.
Yeah.
Ryan confirms his part. What's Lucifer's final instruction for Tirth before chapter 3?
Lucifer appears again, simply tells Tirth to read 4 specific books. The Bible, the Gospel of John, the Apocryphon of John.
Another Gnostic text.
Right. And the Gospel of Thomas, another non-canonical one often linked to Gnosticism.
And Tirth asks if Lucifer can even go into a church.
Yeah, and Lucifer just brushes it off, says all that horror movie stuff is just in our heads. I don't need to come anywhere. I don't need to leave from anywhere. I am everywhere. A very different concept of Lucifer.
Okay, chapter 3. Tirth starts by acknowledging the common view of Lucifer as, evil incarnate. Horns, pitchfork, the whole deal.
But then the source drops this major parallel. Both Christ and Lucifer are described using the same titles, light bringers and morning stars.
Wait, really? Both of them?
Yep. Jesus calls himself the light of the world and the bright morning star. And Lucifer, in Isaiah, is called morning star, son of the dawn. The exact same symbolism.
This is striking. Light bringer. Morning star. What's the implication of them sharing these titles? The source says they share a goal, become God.
Let's look at the evidence presented. Lucifer, as the serpent, told Eve she'd be like God if she ate the fruit and she didn't die.
Right. Right. Challenged God's command and seemed to be correct.
Then Jesus, when accused of blasphemy for calling himself God, quotes the scripture saying, I have said you are gods. He affirms the potential for divinity within us.
Okay.
And even more directly, the secret book of John claims Jesus was the one who got Adam and Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge, to wake them up to the wisdom of the divine light.
So in this narrative, both Lucifer and Jesus are pushing humanity towards realizing their own godhood.
That's the core argument. They're both working towards the same end, self-realization, becoming divine.
Which raises the question, why? Why would these two figures, usually seen as polar opposites, have the same goal?
Because, according to this source, they share a common enemy, the creator God. The God of the Bible is portrayed here as the liar, the deceiver, the false pretender God of chaos who traps souls in matter.
And Jesus isn't his son, but a messenger from the true God.
A son of light sent to help humanity achieve self-knowledge, gnosis, and escape this evil creator. Both Lucifer and Christ are agents of liberation from this false reality.
And the screenplay emphasizes the huge difference between the Old Testament God and Jesus.
Absolutely. It contrasts the jealous, vindictive war machine God who drowns the world and demands sacrifices with the New Testament Jesus preaching love and forgiveness, even contradicting Old Testament laws like an eye for an eye.
This difference led early Gnostics to believe they weren't the same God at all.
Exactly. A view the mainstream church later suppressed, according to the source. But for Tirth, it's a key piece of the puzzle. If the depiction changes so drastically, maybe it was a different entity.
So Tirth puts all these pieces together, the shared titles, the shared message, the common enemy, the biblical contradictions, and reaches his huge, really provocative conclusion.
Yeah, his big realization. Lucifer and Christ. They're archetypes, symbols, but they're the same archetype. The archetype of the illuminated liberator, devoted their lives to liberating humanity through wisdom. That is what Lucifer is. That is what Christ is.
They are the same archetype. And therefore,
Lucifer was innocent. It's the climax of his intellectual journey, turning everything upside down.
And then comes the final confirmation, the ultimate reveal tied to that card Ryan warned him about.
Right. Lucifer tells Tirth, now you can peel the back cover of the card. And what's revealed?
The image of Jesus Christ.
The image of Jesus Christ. Tirth is shocked, but also kind of amused. His reaction is priceless. Well played, Lucifer, well played. Two sides, two archetypes, one hero, one villain. Jesus is the protagonist, but the antagonist, Lucifer, was innocent.
And then Lucifer just disappears.
In a bright white light described as coming from Jesus Christ's iconoclast, whatever that specifically means, it implies a merging or resolution of these archetypes within the narrative's reality.
And then we hear Jesus' voice
Yeah.
delivering the final takeaway message.
Yeah, a voiceover from Jesus reinforcing the theme of inner power. When the two make peace in this one house, you say to the mountain, move away, and it will move away. When you align your thoughts and feelings, you will have the power to move mountains.
Basically, conscious manifestation. Thoughts and feelings aligned create your reality. What we think, we become.
Exactly. And Jesus tells Tirth he was chosen because, essentially, you already know why. Implying Tirth's inherent nature or journey made him ready.
Tirth then makes this final, powerful statement about his own purpose, right?
He does. All my life I've made people laugh, but today if I don't reveal the truth, I'll end up being the joke. I sacrifice myself for the truth that every eye must watch. It's his commitment to sharing this revelation.
And the screenplay jumps forward, shows the aftermath.
Yeah, 30 years later, a documentary-style bit with his friends. They've internalized the message. I have to worship someone, and that someone is myself. We are all parts of the divine mind. We are gods.
But Tirth himself, his fate is a mystery.
It is. A gun was found 15 days after he vanished, right when his last video was due to upload. But nobody, his friends still hold out hope he's alive somewhere.
In his final video message, another red pill moment.
Definitely. He says, if you ever come across this story, then your mind was selected by God. You better know which one to finally be freed. So enjoy the red pill.
And the ending depicts his sacrifice.
Yeah, it shows him shooting himself, but the bullet just dissolves. His third eye opens, and he dissolves into light, into the atmosphere, a symbolic transcendence.
Leading to his ultimate voiceover.
His final words bring it all together. In the end, God asks for a sacrifice, so I decide to sacrifice myself to let you know. Whether you call it Patal, Jahannam, or Hell, Asur, Shaitan, or the devil, Ishwar, Kuda, or God, you look into yourself and you see them lying within you. This is your wake-up call to reality.
Using all those different terms to say it's all internal.
And he ends with, Bhukankrein, the end is just a rise of a new beginning. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am God.
Wow, what a journey. So this deep dive explored a narrative where divinity is entirely within. The source makes these really bold claims. Your brain is the Garden of Eden, the pineal gland is the throne of God, even salvation is salt.
Yeah, that salt part is wild. The idea of raising erectional energy back to the brain to gain the key into the kingdom of heaven, very esoteric.
It leaves you, the listener, with some heavy thoughts. What does it truly mean to unlock your third eye and accept there is no God outside? You are God. How might this idea of conscious manifestation, what we think we become, shape your own path, your own search for knowledge and freedom from illusion?